Same problems we have now, by the way, just all, we held it off for this long. And he's like, you want to be England? Everyone's like, no, New York, you'll be Holland again. You forgot what that was like. You wear wooden shoes, live in a windmill, You walk out your front door every day, you get sucker punched by your own home, fucking Holland. And, so right away, there's problems. Nobody wanted to show up, by the way, just like now. We need another constitutional convention, but people are too busy. We're gonna have like 8 Comic-Cons every year, but we don't have to, we can't organize a constitutional convention. Massachusetts came with their shit attitude because they thought they invented the country. They're like, yeah, Plymouth Rock kid, don't thank me now, Where's George? I want to meet George Washington. New York and Philly kind of knew each other from, Valley Forge, I remember, cold, this guy. My balls are like cobblestones, that's how cold it was this day, And then the South, and there was already a problem, North and South. South came, there were 2 Souths. There's the gentleman South, Virginia, which is George Mason, Madison, they're like the erudites, and then it was the dirty South. The rest of the South, the hardcore South, you didn't even talk to them. If you wanted to say something to them, you talked to Virginia, and they would pass the message along to the rest of the South. It was like Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy, If you want to book Larry the Cable Guy, you talk to Jeff Foxworthy, Larry just shows up. He doesn't talk to you. And the South came with the attitude like, we're safe for one drink. If I don't like what I'm hearing, I'm getting the hell out of it, So Madison basically reads the problem, just like today, all the same problems. Immigration, naturalization was a big issue. Debt was a big issue. States versus federal rights, all these big issues, Goes down the list. They're all like, all right, listen to this guy, And then he's like, I'm done. Anybody, did I forget something? One guy goes, well, what about slavery? And the whole room got just like this room got. Everybody's like, oh, geez, he's going to go there? What the fuck? North went in there. They all said, we're getting rid of slavery. It's inhumane. Ben Franklin, once again, slavery will destroy us in the years to come. I believed that then, and I believe it today. It's not like shipbuilding or rum or even molasses, which is something most people seem to want nowadays. So they told the South, like, we're getting rid of slavery. The South's like, okay, we're taking tobacco, we'll see you later. They're like, whoa, come on. You know it's inhumane. Yeah, and you have indentured servants, but don't worry about it. You're like, wait. And they basically said, okay, look, no importing of slaves after 1803, whatever it was. Basically, the compromise, nobody ever said a compromise was fair, you know what I mean? The first sellout, they call it the original sin of the Constitution. And thank God, it doesn't affect black and white relations today. But back then it was a big deal. And it still resonates in everybody in the United States, black and white. Black people still don't trust the system. White people still have white guilt from that day. Black people still don't trust the system. I go to the train station, there's a black guy, is a train coming? Supposed to, We'll see what happens. What do you think the whole black community and the police, all that tension goes because the police are the system, the nation of laws. They're the ones that go in. Black people are what? First of all, who thought that plan wouldn't work? You had the black community festering, raising in the sun, looking at the dream deferred, fuming for hundreds of years over the system, but they can't really see, and it's not tangible, but they know they don't like the system. And then we're saying to a 23-year-old white kid, listen, we're gonna give you a gun and a souped-up car. Go in there and start telling them what to do, all right? They're like, are they gonna get pissed? No, I don't think so. Just kind of tell them you represent the system, and just say, can I see your hands? Who lives around here? Open that car. Shit like that. See what happens. But everybody always says we need a racial conversation, but there's not a racial conversation. People just go racist. Everyone's like, oh, yeah. Nobody talks, in detail. The problem is people just say well-intentioned. There's a lot of undercurrent on both sides that don't get discussed. You need to have a real racial show every week on TV, and you have people disgruntled, not just people well-intentioned. I'm talking about a white guy that grew up in Baltimore, a black guy that grew up in Idaho. They might have some things to say about the other race, but they're not very flattering. And you have the host could be people from the other race that are trusted by the opposite race. Oprah, obviously, for the white people, And